will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing.
If you came up with the picture of an annoying, insufferable white woman, it would be Meghan Markle.
Watch the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. But not too far.
What do you mean by that?
You have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex stuff.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the f***?
Oh, Pads, you crack me up. And not that sort of crack, obviously.
If you are a watcher of the royal family and you like secrets, you might want to sit down because this is a doozy. Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H. The couple's statement, they're withdrawing from some of their official duties and now plan to balance their time between the United Kingdom and North America. I say welcome, Meghan and Harry. On behalf of all former rebels against the British crown, you're going to love declaring independence. It comes with free speech and unlimited breadsticks. Us dating, when everything was in code, I couldn't tell anyone who I was dating and who was keeping the secret, so I think we were just on a letter basis. I get it. In the 80s, I dated a very famous woman whose identity I will never reveal and only ever refer to her using our secret nickname, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
But not too far. While they're trying to paint the picture of a quiet, normal life, the contrast is glaring. They're still living in extreme wealth, surrounded by celebrity circles and constantly under the public microscope. The statement reads like an attempt to normalize a life that for most people is anything but ordinary.
It's a great series about a rich, white, dysfunctional family, all scheming. Oh no, that's the Crown. That's the Crown. I'm sorry.
From there, he pivoted directly to Prince Harry, painting him as financially desperate and clinging to relevance. The joke wasn't just funny. It cut into the heart of their public persona, highlighting the glaring contrast between the couple's claims of struggle and the undeniable wealth and privilege they enjoy. By framing Harry as someone scrambling to maintain status and fortune, Coy set the tone for the night. This wasn't just comedy. It was a public airing of what many in Hollywood privately thought all along. The punchlines landed hard, leaving the audience laughing while quietly questioning the authenticity of their carefully constructed narrative. And while most of the room chuckled at these jabs, the comedic assault didn't stop there. Almost immediately, other entertainers picked up the thread, piling on with jokes that weren't just about absurdity. They dissected their choices, their branding, and their attempt to play victims while living lives most people could only dream of. It was a chain reaction. Once Coy opened the door, the floodgates of ridicule were impossible to close. From late-night hosts to satirical sketches, the Golden Globe set off a ripple effect that exposed the disconnect between Meghan and Harry's public statements and the public's perception, making it clear that comedy had become a weapon against their carefully curated image. Meanwhile, Nikki Glaser went further than mere ridicule. She didn't just mock Meghan's mannerisms or quips. She delivered a reality check on stage that attacked the very foundation of Meghan's public persona, questioning the authenticity of her origin story and challenging the narrative she'd worked so hard to craft. Her approach showed that in the world of celebrity critique, the jokes are never just jokes. They're a lens for examining truth, privilege, and the consequences of trying to control your image in the modern media landscape.
How great was Imelda Staunton in The Crown? Wasn't she amazing? Her portrayal of the Queen was so good, Prince Harry called her for it and asked her for money.
Coy's joke cut deep, portraying Harry as a man clinging to relevance and cashing in on his royal connection. The humour wasn't just about poking fun. It highlighted the stark contrast between Harry's public claims of struggle and the undeniable wealth and status he enjoyed. By framing him as someone scrambling to maintain fame and fortune, Coy amplified the audience's perception that the couple's narrative of hardship was at best selective and at worst performative. The punchline landed perfectly, leaving both the room and viewers at home laughing while subtly questioning the authenticity of their carefully curated image.
Will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
That punchline hit hard because it wasn't just about money, it was about perceived effort, or the lack thereof. Comedians framed the couple as emblematic of a broader disconnect, living lavishly, cashing massive checks, and yet presenting themselves as ordinary people facing hardships. The Netflix deal, in particular, became a symbol of this contradiction. Critics and late-night hosts alike couldn't resist pointing out the absurdity of two individuals with unprecedented access and privilege, portraying themselves as underdogs while being compensated for what many saw as self-indulgent content. By targeting the Netflix series, the joke also highlighted a recurring theme in the public's perception, that every move Meghan and Harry made seemed meticulously crafted for attention, branding, or monetary gain. If you are watching the video so far, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Dan Wharton opened the discussion by reflecting on Meghan Markle's early years, expressing a desire to understand how she became the person he described as twisted and determined to bring others down, so strikingly different from her other relatives. He questioned what factors in her upbringing might have contributed to the development of her personality and behaviour. Lady Colin Campbell responded by pointing out an important distinction. Meghan is the half-sibling of Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr., sharing a different mother with them. She suggested that Meghan's ambition, apparent delusions, and potential personality disorders could be connected to her relationship with her own mother, Doria Ragland. Campbell noted that during significant portions of Meghan's formative years, Doria was largely absent, leaving Meghan without consistent maternal guidance. She implied that this early lack of maternal support may have played a role in shaping Meghan's later behaviour, ambition, and interpersonal dynamics. Stay tuned as we continue to explore explosive insights, revealing how the Duchess of Sussex's past, her relationships, and even her prenatal environment may have shaped the woman at the centre of the royal storm, and why Prince William is reportedly left reeling in the aftermath.
Is this true? Meghan Markle has ruined your workout regime. Is this true?
Once Joe Coy's Golden Globes monologue landed, it created a sort of permission structure in Hollywood. Comedians, talk show hosts, and even influencers suddenly felt emboldened to speak their minds. What had previously been whispered in private circles or hinted at in subtle digs became open commentary, amplified on live television, podcasts, and social media. The jokes weren't just funny, they carried a kind of social validation. If a widely respected comedian could openly mock Meghan and Harry, then everyone else could too, without fear of immediate backlash. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from private amusement to public scrutiny. Comedians began layering in observations about their supposed victimhood, their privileged complaints, and the constant media attention they courted, turning every perceived hypocrisy into a punchline. This snowball effect was powerful because it created a feedback loop. The more jokes and critiques were shared, the more the public began to accept them as legitimate reflections of Meghan and Harry's actions. Celebrities weren't just cracking jokes, they were delivering cultural commentary, and for many viewers, it painted a stark, unflattering picture of the couple that went far beyond simple comedic exaggeration.
Well, she came into New York last weekend,
Yeah.
and she went to a yoga place called Moto Yoga, which is my yoga place. It's
Right.
where I always places in LA and New York. But now that she went there, everyone's going to want to go there,
Right.
and there's not going to be any room. It's going to be harder to get into.
In interviews about Meghan, Alexandra Dario didn't treat the topic as fodder for a joke. She spoke candidly about what she saw as a genuinely frustrating dynamic. Her perspective added a layer of credibility to the ongoing criticism because it wasn't coming from a comedian or satirist, but from someone who had worked in the entertainment industry and witnessed firsthand some of the behaviours that had already become the subject of jokes and memes. Dario described situations where attempts at relatability or authenticity seemed carefully managed, staged, or simply out of touch with reality. Her comments reinforced what comedians had been hinting at in a humorous way, that behind the carefully curated public image was a person whose actions didn't always match the narrative she was trying to project. This kind of insight made the jokes land even harder, because now there was a real-world testimony backing up what had previously been perceived as exaggeration or satire. That seemingly minor gripe highlighted a broader perception that Meghan Markle's presence, image, and constant media spotlight were starting to wear on people within her own industry. It wasn't just casual chatter. It reflected a growing frustration among those who had to navigate the same professional and social spaces as her. For many, her carefully curated image, her attempts at relatability, and the constant public scrutiny she attracted created a sense of fatigue. Even small interactions like meetings on set or promotional events were reportedly impacted by the aura of meticulous PR management surrounding her. Alexandra Dario's comment was telling because it revealed that what the public often saw as glamour or vulnerability could, behind the scenes, feel calculated, performative, or disruptive. This sentiment helped fuel the wider conversation about authenticity, privilege, and the challenges of blending celebrity with real-world interactions.
Bags. They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
It's another bag.
And that confuses people.
If you are watching the video so far, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Dan Wooten opened the discussion by reflecting on Meghan Markle's early years, expressing a desire to understand how she became the person he described as twisted and determined to bring others down, so strikingly different from her other relatives. He questioned what factors in her upbringing might have contributed to the development of her personality and behaviour. Lady Colin Campbell responded by pointing out an important distinction. Meghan is the half-sibling of Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr., sharing a different mother with them. She suggested that Meghan's ambition, apparent delusions, and potential personality disorders could be connected to her relationship with her own mother, Doria Ragland. Campbell noted that during significant portions of Meghan's formative years, Doria was largely absent, leaving Meghan without consistent maternal guidance. She implied that this early lack of maternal support may have played a role in shaping Meghan's later behaviour, ambition, and interpersonal dynamics. Stay tuned as we continue to explore explosive insights, revealing how the Duchess of Sussex's past, her relationships, and even her prenatal environment may have shaped the woman at the centre of the royal storm, and why Prince William is reportedly left reeling in the aftermath.
Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
Yet again, the scrutiny extended beyond shows and scripted moments. Stephen Colbert seized on the couple's private nicknames, turning what was meant to be intimate or endearing into a source of comedy. By joking about these carefully chosen pet names, Colbert highlighted how even their most personal touches felt performative, almost corporate to the public eye.
With the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these two.
On SNL, Colin Jost went beyond light-hearted jabs and used real-world news as ammunition. By framing the Sussexes' worth in the context of a seemingly ordinary story, he highlighted just how precarious their celebrity value had become. The joke cut deeper than surface-level humour. It questioned the sustainability of their brand, suggesting that all the media attention, Netflix deals and lifestyle ventures might not actually translate into lasting relevance.
Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
But the most